Okay, they can't hear us.
Hello.
Who's in the office?
Me,
We live.
you're live.
Okay. Well, let's call this meeting to order. All right, approval of last month's minutes.
We need the motion for the minutes.
I'll second that. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right, that goes through. Well, let's start off with this. And we have our lovely board members in the back. Always like you're in trouble at school. You're always in the back.
No, there's a reason.
You don't want to be on camera?
Right.
We're gonna need you front and center then. Yeah. You are not. I'm just going to go there. All right, you guys wanna say anything or you just want us to look at the?
Well, I mean, I can reiterate a couple things on it. I don't really need to read it. I brought it.
That's good, I'm glad you don't.
You would have, it for references as you're checking into some issues. And we know, we've talked about with DPW, Dave's been very helpful providing information. And they checked into the drain, the one drain we knew of in the front of Looking Glass Terrace. That it has problems with overflowing.
No.
And after Dave and his crew have checked into that, we understand that that's connected to another drain at Looking Glass Terrace. They tie into each other, but the storm drain that was run or fixed when the Grand River paving was done is short of the property of Looking Glass Terrace, so it doesn't connect into that. So just for our purpose, so we have a better understanding when 26 rolls around, prior to that happening, there's a couple questions that we're trying to wrap our heads around. Like, the first one is, when the city goes in and replaces the road at Looking Glass, is the drain connection for the storm drain done at that same time? Since it is a city road. That's the first question we have. The second question or understanding we're trying to get is paving of the road of Looking Glass, which is again, a city street or road. We were with the understanding that the parking spaces would be Looking Glass's responsibility. When the road went through, we would want to do that in conjunction with the road at the same time. But our question is, like, when the paving of the other streets, like Grand River outside of the businesses and other streets that are done, and there's parking spaces there, the road is paved and the businesses are not paying for those parking spaces. So we're trying to wrap our head around and understand better. At Looking Glass, since it's a city road as well, would that not be, you would do the whole road and we would be responsible for just like painting of the parking spots? We're just trying to get a better understanding so we can prepare
Right.
according to, because we're not sure really yet. We don't have the clear connection of it all.
Right.
So that's what we're here for, and we're not expecting you to have an answer tonight, but we're trying to get it out there so that we can get answers, so that if we have to do grants and things like that,
Right.
we need to get in the process sooner than later. But if we don't, then that saves that for, the tenants and us doing other things, if that wouldn't be a normal procedure.
Okay.
Are you looking at sidewalks as well at the same time, do you think?
Well, I don't. See, that's another thing. We don't know at what point. The property actually is looking glass. Is the sidewalks part of the whole road in the city, or would the sidewalks be looking glass? I mean, that's where we're going.
What we have found so far
Yes.
with the research we have done is that the road was turned over to the city. The parking lots were not. That
Okay.
left the pavement part of that up to looking glass. And that's what I was kind of making some
Yes.
some jotted down notes in here, and that is what we had found out on that, and that's where the separation came down. As far as downtown, the city owns that entire thing. The business does not own them.
The parking
Parking
spots and
spots.
everything.
Them are the cities. If you go to the post office, the first 5 parking spots in front of the post office belong to that building. They're not ours. So when we paved that, they had to pay
Okay.
for them 5 spots over there.
And do you know when the city actually took over the road? Do you know when that was?
I can't tell you that. I know I started in 99 and we were founded at that point. So I can't tell you.
Right.
I'll have to look that up.
Oh, but that would be helpful just for us to,
Do you know, Dave, because you guys had a price for the road and I think you gave pricing for the parking portion, is
Yes.
that still a valid price? Is that like?
The
locked
current
in?
price right now, our part for the total reconstruction would be 209,000 and yours would be 87,400.
87.
That is as of today.
So back, the parking is gonna be the 3 buildings, and then is that at the community building too, or is that part of the road?
That includes the community
All right,
building.
so it'd be the part 87.4,
Yep,
and that is like locked in, or when you guys go to do it, they.
that is what it is right now.
Yeah,
If we were to do
yeah.
it right now, that's what it would be.
yeah.
Okay, so in
So it'll probably
26,
work,
it's gonna go up.
Unless by some miracle we
Yeah.
strike
Yeah.
gold.
Yeah.
What about the sidewalks? Were they planned and?
No,
So downtown,
the sidewalks and any drains, none of that was into this, and the complete project right now would be $296,400.
How far away is the drain?
I haven't measured it in feet, but it is west of be the first house west, and it would be just west of that driveway. So
You're gonna 250 to 500.
yeah, probably close to 400 feet.
And to do that, we'd have to rip up drain room.
Not necessarily. If they could get easements, we could go across the back and tie into the back of the catch basin.
And we have to get an estimate on that one too.
If you guys wanted to do it, we generally don't. We've never done, anybody that's done stuff like that, they've done it themselves.
Oh, they paid for the whole stuff.
Yeah.
Which makes sense for super.
We do not have a connection fee for storm where we do for sanitary.
Okay. So that'd be.
And I discussed, I can't remember the gal's name I talked to out there, Jane.
Yeah.
Really nice lady, and I went through all this with her last summer, so.
Mhm. We knew you had, and then when we started thinking about it, we just had some more questions for clarifying purposes. I couldn't wrap my head around why the parking spots would be different than being part of the road. But when you say we didn't give that over.
Correct. They wanted to maintain control of the ability for parking, and they didn't want any of the city's ordinances to fall within their parking spots, so.
And our goal as a board is to improve that. You know, bring that up to the standards that it should be, especially, but obviously, money is tight. I mean, it's a low income senior housing and, so we're trying to get the knowledge of it. Is it gonna be our responsibility to fix that drain? Because if a new road goes in and the drain's not fixed, is it just gonna ruin the new road?
Right. Yeah, I had the engineers come out and look at that, and the best that myself or they could come up with was that was put in with a sand base and meant to be it overflow and then just naturally absorb into the ground.
Oh.
And I've seen them a lot. I mean, but
Um,
that was the initial thought that went into that when it went in there. It was just something to get water away from the buildings, but.
But wouldn't it make sense at the timing to figure out the price to do it?
I
At
don't
least-
think, I mean, if they figure out a price on that drain, the drain doesn't have to do done, that can be done before the road. I mean, that's gonna go across the yard. The best way to do that would be go across yards. Otherwise, like she said, you're gonna have to tear up Grand River, which we don't want to do.
That's not happening.
And is that, are you
We have
thinking
to-
that that's our responsibility?
That has been the practice in the past, but I don't know. That's up
That'd be city
to
council.
these guys and city
Okay,
council,
okay.
so
I think we should price it out and see what it is.
I can get prices.
Or if there, even if there, you know, if there's grants, I mean,
Right,
we need help.
right. Would we do that with tobacco or would you bring a company into?
I would bring a company in to do that. That's, I don't have the manpower to tie them. I mean, we'd be tied up for a month doing it.
Okay.
And I don't have enough manpower to do that.
Gotcha.
And who would have to get the easements? I mean, when you said that, how do you go, I mean, do you know how to go about that?
No.
Maybe we just need to talk to them.
So if it's anything like the easement we did with that fence, we had to go through some paperwork in order to do
Correct.
that.
Correct.
So that would be like city council. We'd have to go through.
An easement
Yes.
would be,
To go across.
That would be asking permission to go across any part of somebody else's property that we would run that drain through. Once it got to a certain point, then it falls within our road right away, but
Mhm.
looking at how that goes, there would probably be 80 to 100 feet that would have to go across the neighbor's property
like, to the
to the west.
west.
Yeah,
Right.
and I can't think of that gentleman's
Right,
name either,
right.
but he's been
Yeah, he
very,
used to
he's
be our
been very good
maintenance
to
guy,
work with,
yeah.
so.
So back on the sidewalks downtown, the sidewalks are the cities too, up to the building.
Correct,
But over there, because the parking lot isn't, the sidewalks aren't either, so the same
Correct.
situation with the sidewalks as it is with the parking.
And I just have one last question. If Looking Glass wanted to change that arrangement, is that possible? I mean, not necessarily for this particular case, but if we wanted the city to take responsibility or oversee the sidewalks and the parking spots in a future date, can we do that? Or once they made that deal, that's a done deal?
you know, I don't know that there was ever a date put on the deal, so I think that would be a communication between your board and the council, and
That'd probably be a Kim thing to look into. So, I mean, because if I would, I'm guessing. City council takes those back over, like Dave said, now they have to meet code. Especially with handicap ramps, you know.
Number of spaces.
Yeah, and that would be something that we may have to see if they would even come close to meeting code or get grandfathered in. And that would be, like I said, that would be a more of a Kim thing.
Okay, so we just need to,
Yeah, I mean, Kim could probably get more information on that, and I don't know if you'd have to get a hold of C2EAE or what that could
well,
call.
I know that because it's state, overseen by the state.
Right.
We have to comply with some of that already.
Okay,
Yeah,
so that
so,
might be.
correct, and anything we would do would have to be the same. I mean, it
Exactly.
would all have to fall under the ADA. And
Mhm.
everything we do under the ADA rules anyway, so,
And Robert might be, Rob, the building guy,
yeah.
might be a good resource too.
That's good information. So do we then bring it to the next council meeting, or do we need to get more info first, or?
Bring what?
So he's gonna do a
Oh,
report
that's right, you guys.
during
yeah,
city
yeah.
council, so he will bring it up. So
Okay.
if you,
You can be there if you want.
Yeah, and
You don't have to be there if you don't want.
I'll get prices from a couple companies
I
too, so we
appreciate
even
it.
have an idea what we're looking at, so.
And I think that's the big thing, it's just, we know this stuff is gonna be large amounts of money, and.
Yeah.
And we
Plus,
just,
this gives you a better idea if you need to go file for grants or something. so.
Right,
But
Well, I
you might have more opportunity because it is the facility that it is. There might be something more out there that you can get your hand on too.
do you guys have anyone here at the city that, is writing grants or looking for grants or that
I,
we can
I would imagine Kim looks at them, but doesn't Danelle write them too?
I think they're all getting their. feet-
They're all looking for grants all the time.
Yeah.
They're all jumping on.
Yeah, they're all jumping in. The other person that might be a good resource is Justin Horvath, because he has a grant team as well.
Justin's awesome.
And he would maybe, I would put it in his ear
Okay.
as well,
Okay.
because he has his own little team too.
Oh,
And we are members of the Shiawassee.
It's
Mhm.
Okay, all right, well, we have a good management team there, so we wanna
Yeah.
keep them because they're helping us
Got a good board.
move that.
keep trying.
Yeah.
Jody Brank,
Just for that, so you.
all right, we're gonna say for the rest of them.
Oh, yeah.
All right, anything else we want to add to this, Dave, or are you good on what they said? And
No, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Got some information.
all right, well, let's move on to your report, sirs.
Alrighty. Let's jump into, where is it? Parks and Recs. We got wood chips. We've been working on getting them down. We started hanging the swings. If you, I don't know if you noticed them yet, we got some colored swings, some. The chains, we got the ones that's got the dip, so they're not finger pinchers.
AJ loved the pink swings.
The pink one. We started doing some cemetery cleanup, Memorial Mall, we trimmed trees over there, we power washed the building today, so we'll get ready to paint that to prep for the mural. Sidewalks, we're gonna start them, after Memorial Day, after the event's over. We're gonna start doing foundations at the cemetery next week, try to get as many of them done as we can before I take off. I talked to Don today, we're getting the paint ordered. Tomorrow, we're gonna get it power washed, so we can get it crack sealed the tennis courts. We're gonna go with the same color scheme that was down there before, because I've already got the caulk, so we don't want to try to change colors on it and have green caulk. They got a hold of me from the ball fields. They got their temporary fences up that we talked about last year for their outfields, for their home run fences. So he was working on them today. We got one dead tree and some trimming we had to do against a couple of the other ball fields. The skate park stuff down here, Nick did come in and sprayed what he could of them, but
With the wetness, sure.
right, we got more to do. It was already on my list to paint them because they were faded anyways, so. That is on the list. And other than that, we've just been kind of plugging away. Of course, mowing season started, so
Going like.
that's been nonstop.
So we do anything with the I Love Weed thing and all that fun stuff?
I got painted up.
As I said, we painted
Okay.
over it yesterday.
Okay. So there is one, also, and I don't know if Greg told you about.
I sent them all the pictures.
Well, the one swing that broke.
Yes, we
Okay.
sent them the pictures. There's
Okay.
actually two of them down there,
Okay.
and we didn't get to that today.
I love people.
Yeah.
There's no way that the amphitheater camera can see down there, which I mean, it's probably way too far.
It's way too far, yeah.
When does the patio furniture go?
Anytime after the 8th of May, that's when the Girl Scouts will be here to do the flowers and
A couple of people ask and I
it doesn't matter. I guarantee you that right after we put them out, it'll get cold for 2 weeks.
So we want them out now, that way we can get that over with.
And other than that, just a reminder that I will be taking off on the 10th and I'll be going that for next week.
Who do I get to plug?
Nick,
Okay.
number 2.
No.
Nick.
have we done anything with any of the?
Oh, the parking out there. I need to show you where we were talking about putting millions out.
Yeah,
there.
we didn't even look at it yet.
We did, but yeah, you and I didn't, so yeah, and I think we have 2 easy locations that will be
Well,
easy to get done.
yeah, because I want to look at them with you, because you gotta remember there's that bottom of that one spot's got a catch basin in
Right,
there.
we're not even there though.
Okay,
If you wanna go after this, if you can, we can quickly zip out there.
they got another one at 6, so
All you got, man?
that's all I got.
Okay. Anything else?
We've been plugging away.
No, no, that was it.
All right, anything on the line? Nothing on the line? All right, we'll call the meeting closed. You wanna zip out there, Dave, and take a quick look at it, or no?
Yeah, we'll do that. Lori, I don't have your number, but I have Jody's, so when I get that when I get that information, I'll just ship it to Jody,
Want me to read it?
or you can just give me your number. and-
Look like you're ready to go golfing or something.
Where I'm heading.
Or good golf.
Thanks for all your help.
Thanks.
All
right, we'll get there.
Yeah, we will.
Thank you.
Little by little.
Thank you.
Thanks.